Yo, what is going on, you guys? We're going to be talking about the best combo to use within Apex Legends Season 2. As we've seen a bunch of meta changes, we've seen a bunch of new updates to the guns when Season 2 dropped, and now we're finally going to be talking about some of the best gun combos to use in terms of Apex Legends Season 2. Now, without making this video longer than it has to be, it's probably hopefully going to be helping you guys out a ton here because Season 2 has some pretty good guns, and I think I found one of the best gun combos to use within Season 2 to help you guys get more kills and, play a little bit better, but as well as hopefully give you guys an easier playing experience when you are using these two guns. They're both very strong when used together. They're very good for a rushing playstyle, as well as they're just very good for playing a more campy and tactical playstyle, depending on how you like to play in Apex Legends. And the two guns that we're going to be going over here are the Alternator as well as the Peacekeeper. So I think we're going to start off with the Alternator here because this is going to be your main gun, and then your secondary is going to be your Peacekeeper. So the Alternator uses light rounds, so you're really only going to want to use around 2 stacks of the light rounds for this because you can hold 80 per stack. And the Peacekeeper, since the recent nerf, you used to only be able to have to hold 1 stack, but now you're going to want to either hold 2 to 3 stacks in your backpack, which is going to take a little bit more inventory space than you would probably like. But the damage with these guns does output, and it does make a world of difference, and trust me, the positives will outweigh that one negative, trust me. So now that you've got both of these guns and you've got them pretty much all kitted up, you've got pretty much yourself a disruptor rounds. Once again, this combo is really only useful if you have disruptor rounds equipped on your Alternator. If you don't, I would use the R99, I'll get into that after, but if you have disruptor rounds on the Alternator, your main purpose with the Alternator, if you couldn't tell by now, is really only going to be to melt the enemy's shield. If you can pop off and get a kill with it, then cool, try and aim for the head as much as you possibly can, but because if you hit them for 36 to every single body shield with disruptor rounds and 54 to the head with disruptor rounds and onto their shield, you're pretty much just going to be melting their armor in less than half of a clip, and once you've melted their armor, all you've got to do is switch over to the Peacekeeper, charge it up, and hopefully hit your shots, because the Peacekeeper shoots in a star pattern. It shoots 11 projectiles per shot, so 11 different little pellets that can hit the enemy, and if you hit all 11 pellets to the body, you're going to hit them for 110 damage, which will instantly down them after you've melted their shield with the Alternator. If you hit them with all 11 pellets to the head, which is quite difficult, you're going to be dealing 165 damage straight up to the enemy player, and then 88 if you hit all 11 pellets to the guy's leg. So individually, each pellet deals around 10 per pellet if you hit them in the body, 15 per pellet if you hit them in the head, and only 8 to the leg. So you're going to want to try and improve your accuracy with this gun. Try and get the precision choke. Really, the precision choke doesn't really increase damage. Everyone thinks it increases damage. All it really does is reduce the spread of the pellets, which is going to be really good in my opinion, because then you can get more damage off on the enemy if you have a fully charged Peacekeeper. But even if you don't have disruptor rounds, you can still use the Peacekeeper as your main weapon if you fully hit every single pellet in either the body or the head, because if you hit all 10 pellets, or all 11 pellets, sorry, to the guy's body armor, you're pretty much going to down them in 2 shots, which is going to be hard to do, but it is definitely viable, and it is a very good option. Most people complain that the Peacekeeper is bad, which yes, it theoretically isn't as good because it isn't as consistent, but the way to make it more consistent is by improving your aim with the Peacekeeper, because if you can improve your aim and hit all of those 11 pellets, you're going to be pretty much melting them in 2 shots, and your Alternator is going to be your backup weapon. But if you have the disruptor rounds, the Alternator can be your primary weapon. You can melt the enemy's armor, switch over to the Peacekeeper, and instantly just completely down them, and you have a full team down on the ground and a bunch of loot to steal. In terms of ADS movement speed, when you're strafing with both of these guns, they're both very high. So when you're in a gunfight with both of these guns, you're going to want to strafe as much as you possibly can in the gunfight, because when you're ADSing with the Alternator submachine gun, you're going to be moving at an 86% movement speed, which is pretty much almost the base walking speed. So if you're fighting someone with a longbow, if you're fighting someone with, maybe even a Spitfire, you're going to be moving faster than they can even, move themselves. So you can dodge more bullets than they can dodge of yours, and you're going to be getting more shots off than they can probably get onto you if you're using the strafing with the Alternator. Now in terms of strafing with the Peacekeeper, it's even better. You have 91% strafe speed when you're moving with the Peacekeeper. This is pretty much almost the same as if you were to use a P2020, because I believe the P2020 keeps the exact same strafe speed. It's either 95 or 100%, I'm not too sure, but this video isn't even about the P2020, but you're pretty much going to be moving at the same base walking speed if you're using the Peacekeeper. And if you use Octane Stim ability as well, which is the legend that I recommend using for this, you can even strafe a lot faster. You can get behind the enemies, you can strafe around buildings, etc, 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 and you also have his launch pad to help you take the high ground when you're using both of these guns. Try to aim for the head as much as you possibly can. It's going to help you out a ton, but this gun combo, it works, and it works really well. I love it a lot. It's pretty good, you know. I'd say it's one of the better gun combos to use within Season 2 now that the Disruptor rounds helped out the Alternator. Once again, if you have Disruptor rounds, the Alternator is going to be your main weapon so that you can melt the shields. But if you don't have it, don't sweat it. You know, it's going to be your backup weapon if you don't have Disruptor rounds. And if you don't have Disruptor rounds, use the Peacekeeper as your main weapon and the Alternator as your secondary. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please feel free down below to leave a like, and make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel so you never miss future Apex Legends content. Instagram is linked down below. I'm going to be posting a ton of pictures from my vacation, and I'm going to be uploading more daily Apex videos tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss that. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another daily Apex video. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, boys.
It's just fired.